What is up, everyone? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of the Devil's Battle Spot Ladder. Today we are trying out Mega Blastoise, and I believe today is National Turtle Day or Tortoise Day or something like that. I don't know, but we got this cool team that I found because I decided why not use Blastoise, because I do like Mega Blastoise, and I really haven't used it in a while, ever since 2015 really. We have a Tapu Koko, a Landorus variant, Drifblim, Tapu Lele, Blastoise, and Amoonguss. I have not tried out this team yet, so this should be a fun experience, but it's actually got a pretty decent win ratio. It's kind of a smaller use team, but 63 out of like 85, I think, isn't bad. It isn't bad at all, and I am experienced with some of the combinations. I'm very experienced with Tapu Lele, Drifblim, as well as Blastoise and Amoonguss, so we'll see how we can put them together and make this cool team. We got a Mega Blastoise on deck today, and it should be fun. We have our first opponent, which is a Japanese rated player, 1631, with a team of Metagross, Hydreigon, Tapu Lele, Landorus variant, Cofagrigus, and Snorlax. Now that's a very interesting combination, Cofagrigus plus Snorlax. I wonder if it's guard split. I believe that Cofagrigus gets guard split, but that's going to be a very annoying combination. But what's very solid is Drifblim plus Tapu Lele, I think. Yeah, Drifblim plus Tapu Lele. I think Blastoise and Amoonguss can also do well in the back. Mega Metagross is going to be kind of annoying as... What is up with that lighting? But I feel like Drifblim Tapu Lele is good as a lead, but unfortunately this Drifblim carries Acrobatics instead of Shadow Ball, so can't really damage the Metagross as much as I wanted to maybe put it in range of the Water Spout from my Blastoise. But I do have Rain Dance, which is pretty cool, and I have Will-O-Wisp, so I can burn the Metagross if necessary. Let's get the Tapu Lele and Drifblim on deck here against Tapu Lele and Metagross. Very interesting combination for my opponent right here. Very interesting, but I think I can pretty much set up a free Tailwind right here. I want to try to get a Rain Dance up if possible. So what I'm actually going to do is go for a Tailwind. Yeah, I just want a Tailwind, get my Blastoise up to speed. And I think I'll just fire off a Dazzling Gleam and get some chip damage. I don't mind Tapu Lele going down. It's really not necessary in this game. Metagross is going to Mega Evolve, and I don't know what it might want to do. I don't want it to get a substitute up or anything. I hope he just goes straight for the KO onto Tapu Lele, which I wouldn't mind because I get a free Rain Dance plus Water Spout. So Tailwind is going to be set up here. Ice Punch actually coming out, and that's probably into Drifblim. Okay. That actually picks us a knockout. I'm actually surprised, but then again, Mega Metagross's ability is Tough Claw, so it boosts its attack power when it makes physical contact. Dazzling Gleam doing a solid amount to my opponent's Pokemon, so very nice with that Life Orb. And a Moonblast coming out. That's going to hurt. If it's Specs, that's really going to hurt. But it's not Specs, it looks like. But it lowers my special attack, which is a bit unfortunate. But I can go out into Blastoise here. With the Psychic Terrain, he can't go for priority damage, which is really nice. And I can just throw off a Water Spout right here, I believe. Blastoise is going to come out. I will Mega Evolve Water Spout, and that should finish off the Tapu Lele, no problem. Not sure about the Metagross, but would Dazzling Gleam do more Psychic? But I think I would Dazzling Gleam in case he decides to pull a switch. So I'll just go for the Water Spout plus Dazzling Gleam. I think Water Spout should be able to do 75% to the Metagross. I think the Dazzling Gleam would finish off the Metagross. I don't want to go for Psychic, even though it's in Terrain, because I believe Metagross Quad resists it, if I remember correctly. So we will Mega Evolve with our Blastoise, and if this doesn't pick up the KO, we are in a lot of trouble. So let's see if this actually can pick up the knockout, because it would be pretty bad if it doesn't. Dazzling Gleam going to come out, which is going to get a crit on Metagross, so that's definitely in range now. Unfortunate for my opponent, as Tapu Lele will go down, but I do not mind, because I get a free switch into Amoonguss, and Blastoise is the damage outputting of this team. A Water Spout going to go off, and goodbye Metagross and Tapu Lele. I had no reason not to click Water Spout right there. Does pick up the KO on the Pokemon I needed to. And we are in a very solid position. I can go onto my Amoonguss right here, and I don't know what my opponent has in the back, but I could Rage Powder Water Spout. I could go for a Spore, and maybe Water Spout or Protect on Blastoise. We got so many options here. Amoonguss is going to come out Snorlax. I'm guessing Cofagrigus is in the back then. Oh, Landorus. Okay. So I could just fire off a Water Spout and a Spore into Snorlax. Thanks to that Tailwind, we should be faster than the Snorlax, unless it's running a crazy amount of speed. And Water Spout plus Spore should get the job done on this Landorus. Unfortunately, I don't have Aura Spear on this Blastoise, so that'd be much more helpful than Dark Pulse. And we don't have Protect, which is interesting on the Amoonguss. Gonna go for Spore and a Water Spout. Should finish off the Landorus. As Landorus is actually going to Protect, but I can still go for Water Spout the next turn, so that is completely fine. We're going to get a Water Spout off into the Snorlax. Let's see how much this does. This should do a decent amount. Ooh, that's actually a lot of damage. Was not expecting that much on Snorlax, since Snorlax is a very, very bulky monster. But with Protect on Landorus, you would assume that the Landorus actually doesn't... So you would assume most likely Landorus is not... Well, obviously Landorus shouldn't be Scarfed unless it's Scarf Protect for whatever reason. Could be Sash though. I think I do want to just Giga Drain here. Or I could Sport a Landorus slot. I think I'm going to Sport a Landorus slot just in case. He'll probably have to go for a double anyway. And he doesn't, so we do get a Water Spout off. And Snorlax could wake up here in case... it is Focus Sash on Landorus. Okay. So that's good to know. We see the Landorus' Focus Sash as well as the Berry on the Snorlax. And now it comes down to what this Landorus can do. It's just a Rock Slide. Can't go for Z-move, so it can't pick up a knockout. And Rock Slide doesn't really do too much to Blastoise, which I'm fortunate. And we do connect the Spore through the Rock Slide, so we don't flinch. Excellent. Let's see if Snorlax wakes up, though. That's the question. Snorlax is fast asleep. That's good. And we could just click Water Spout, and I think I'll click Spore again. Yeah, I think I'll click Spore because if it goes for Recycle, that could be bad for me. So I'll just Spore the Snorlax and Water Spout. Amoonguss should be slower than Snorlax now, I believe, unless we Speed Type for some reason. As the match is going to be forfeited, and we will take a nice victory with this Blastoise team. Just... I didn't really care about my lead. All I needed was Tailwind up, a few turns of Tailwind, get a Water Spout off. That's kind of what this team kind of likes to do. And I definitely do enjoy it. It's very fun. Actually, that was a very fun first battle. Unfortunate about the crit. I don't know if the crit really mattered if Water Spout just picked up the knockout Blastoise. I still was in the same position no matter what. So either way, I think I was fine. Interesting to see Sash on Landorus. I actually wasn't expecting it to be Sash. I was thinking it might have been the Z-move potentially. Or it could have been Z-move Tapu Lele. That definitely does make some sense. But all I know is Mega Blastoise pulling to work. I actually do want to build my own Mega Blastoise team because I did make one post 2015. No, actually it was post 2016 when I was just messing around on the Devil's Valspot ladder. I don't think I posted it to YouTube. I don't think I posted that team to YouTube. I think I made it after Worlds 2016 because I really want to try the Assault Vest Raichu that Wolf Glick won Worlds at the time with Talonflame plus the Blastoise. So, yeah, that was a very fun team. We got an interesting opponent, a 1466 rated player from the United States with a very interesting team. Beheeyem, Perugly, Malamar, Arbok, Milotic, and Frostlass. My oh my. Is this trickery? What am I supposed to expect here? Can someone tell me what I'm supposed to expect here? Very solid Pokemon is Tapu Lele and Drifblim as the lead. And I think I want to go Amoonguss and Blastoise again. I don't really need Koko. I guess if it's like Hypnosis Perugly, but I'm not really sure if it's going to be Hypnosis Perugly. And I do have Taunt on my Tapu Lele just in case. So... same game plan as before, but I think this time the Drifblim and Tapu Lele might be able to stay out on the field longer and do some nice chip damage to my opponent. And maybe I can actually set up the Rain this time, because Rain plus a Water Spout at full HP. Water Spout's a base 150 power move. Of course, 75% of that on each target because it's doubles, but it's still a very strong move in general. So we see Perugly plus the Beheeyem as the lead, and we will lead our Drifblim and Tapu Lele. Luckily, my opponent cannot go for Fake Out because of the fact that Psychic Terrain is on the field, plus the fact that Drifblim is a Ghost type, so it is immune to Fake Out. We can get a Will-O-Wisp off into this Perugly. Hopefully it's not, you know what I said earlier. And I think I'll taunt the Beheeyem because I really don't know what Beheeyem does. I know it can get Calm Mind. I know it gets some decent coverage, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball. I haven't seen this thing since Black and White. Actually, my opponent goes for Fake Out in Psychic Terrain, maybe not knowing about the mechanics. But we go for the Will-O-Wisp here into the Perugly here. That's going to burn it. The game was slowing down for a second. I don't know why. Here comes the Taunt into the Behemoth, so it can only fire off attacks now. Psyshock would be pretty bad here. But it's just Shadow Ball. Alright, that's not as bad. Into the Tapu Lele slot, so Tapu Lele being brought down very low. But I do not really mind that too much because I can get my Tailwind up here, I think. And I think that's Analytic Behemoth. That did way too much damage to Tapu Lele. Or it could be like Specs. But I think that is Analytic. But I will just go for a Gleam here and a Tailwind. Try to weaken these mons, get my Blastoise in, go for Rain Dance, start Water Spouting, and that should be the game. We will get the Tailwind up. Tailwind is good. We got a Last Resort, so it's Fake Out Last Resort. Okay, so maybe that's the reason why my opponent actually went for the plays that my opponent did, going for Fake Out. So you can go for that move. Actually, I don't know if that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but Shadow Ball going to come out. Drifloon eating it up thanks to that Misty Seed. Unfortunately, losing that boost, but I don't think it really matters in the long run. Hard into Blastoise, Rain Dance, and hope that we can knock out Behemoth. Because if we don't knock out Behemoth, an Analytic Psychic in Psychic Terrain is going to hurt. And I hope this really isn't a random Focus Sash Behemoth or Assault Vest. Rain Dance plus the Water Spout should finish the job. I could go for a Dark Pulse, but I believe that Rain, Water Spout plus Stab will be more effective onto Behemoth. Although Mega Launcher would increase it to 120, so it's a 240 base power. But Water Spout is Stab, so it's like, what, 75% of 150, plus Stab, plus Rain. I think Water Spout's just a safer overall play. And I'll knock out the Perugly too here. So, go for the Rain Dance here. And I really do love this combination because we get the Rain Dance up with the Drifloon. And now Blastoise is able to put in some work. Hopefully it does outspeed Perugly. It does. Water Spout will go off in the rain. That doesn't knock out Behemoth. Oh, man. Please don't go for Psychic. Go for Shadow Ball. Oh, this is gonna hurt. That O-Code. That O-Code. Wow. I am very surprised Behemoth actually survived that. I am very shocked. Maybe I should have went for Gleam instead of that one Taunt. It might be... Well, Analytic plus Psychic Terrain actually... Oh, man, that did so much damage. Here comes the Malamar. I think I had to knock out the Behemoth here with the Acrobatics. I think I'll Rage Powder what could be a knockoff. Actually, Amoonguss should outspeed Behemoth, so maybe I'll go for Will-O-Wisp instead into the Malamar and burn it and try to knock out this Behemoth with a Giga Drain. Oh no, this is very risky, but we'll see how this goes. Will-O-Wisp, we do connect with the Malamar, and I don't think Malamar can knock us out unless it has Night Slash. Because knockoff wouldn't knock out the Drifloon. We just see the Psycho Cut. And we actually have a berry on the Amoonguss because of the Psychic Terrain that we're providing. Oh my lord, that did nothing. And Amoonguss does go first because of the Tailwind. We do get the Giga Drain off. Knock out Behemoth. So we're kind of a 2v2, but we have a Drifloon that's not really that healthy. We're not exactly in the best position with Amoonguss in the world. Maybe I'm going to have to go off some Spores, but we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is, because I don't really remember. My Milotic would be great here, because I could Giga Drain, but it's Arbok. Ooh. It is Intimidate, though, so that's still bad. I can't Acrobatics now. So I think I have to Will-O-Wisp the Arbok and Sludge Bomb the Malamar. I could Giga Drain the Malamar, which I might do instead. I think I want to Giga Drain the Malamar. Luckily Arbok doesn't carry the Shed Skin ability, which could have been a bit of a problem. Well, we're still in a very bad position, let's face it. This Malamar is actually kind of a threat, so is this Arbok. I don't exactly have the best offensive presence on the field, especially with the Intimidate that happened on Drifloon. And Drifloon might be going down this turn. We don't know yet. Will-O-Wisp will connect with the Arbok, so the two Pokemon are burned unless they carry special moves for some reason. We see a Fire Fang in the rain. Okay. That did nothing to Amoonguss, so I'll take that. Rock Slide coming out. This shouldn't knock out Drifloon. by any means necessary. I'm glad I didn't try to Rage Powder there. But Amoonguss does flinch, which is a bit unfortunate. And unfortunately, Amoonguss can't heal itself, other than Giga Drain. The weirdness does disappear from the battlefield. That's actually really good for me, because now I don't have to worry about Psycho Cut doing as much damage as before. I think I'm going to go for the Acrobatics and double up this Malamar, because I really need to get rid of this Malamar. This Malamar is a huge threat. I don't know. I don't care if Arbok really Sucker Punches. Amoonguss needs to get some attacks off. Like, that's a big deal. But Fire Fang plus Rock Slide is a very valid combination, because you have a 10% chance to flinch with the Fire Fang, a 10% chance to also burn on top of that, as well as a 30% chance from Rock Slide. So we're not in that good of a position. Acrobatics will come out and do a sizable amount actually to that Malamar for being -1. Fire Fang again to Amoonguss. I can't even protect. Rock Slide does come out and will target down both my Pokemon, so Drifblim should be going down this turn. And Amoonguss, can you get one Giga Drain off? We kind of need you to get a Giga Drain off right here. Unfortunately, Amoonguss not pulling in clutch here, and I really hope he just doesn't fire off Fire Fangs plus the Rock Slide. Because Amoonguss could have actually 1v1 this if I got one Giga Drain off out of the two. So let me see, Giga Drain here into the Malamar. Let's see. Fire Fang coming out into the Amoonguss. And Psycho Cut. Okay, it goes for Psycho Cut. So Amoonguss, you should be able to move this turn unless you get flinched again. That did a lot more than I expected. Here comes the Giga Drain though into Malamar. That doesn't recover as much as I thought it would, to be honest. That really didn't recover as much. Is that a Solfest on Malamar? It might be, because we saw Rock Slide. I needed the other two Giga Drains to connect. Might have actually put Malamar in range. But yeah, I can't win, so I have to forfeit. Unfortunately, low ladder. I hate the low ladder. It's unfortunate, though. Yeah, so a big mistake there was going for the taunt turn one. I didn't want Calm Minds to be set up, because if that Behemoth got a Calm Mind up, it could have actually been a huge threat. I didn't know what Behemoth did, and I forgot Analytics, so I don't know what kind of variant Behemoth was, though, if it was a Assault Vest. I also didn't know about the special defense that could live a rain boosted Water Spout. If I had known that, I would have went for Protect, Blastoise, and Acrobatics that one turn, and then Rain Dance, Water Spout, because I think that would have been the correct play. And then the flinches kind of cost us at the end, because we could have potentially won if we got the 2 Giga Drains off. But you know what? Luckily, I'm starting off on the Battle Spot Doubles Ladder. I'm not like at a high rating yet, so thank goodness for that. But still, losing to that kind of player kind of sucks, to be honest, in my opinion. Let's see if we can pick up the last victory, because I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of upset. I am kind of upset that I lost to that person. United States from Kentucky, 1500, as our last opponent. Bring a Charge Bug, Tapu Koko, Palisand, Electivire, Garchomp, and Tapu Bulu. Okay, so 3 electric types, which is interesting. I think I could just sweep with Water Spout, potentially, if I have to. So I think I'm going to lead Drifblim Tapu Lele, because it's a good start lead, to be honest. Blastoise and Amoonguss in the back, and we should be good. There's not much my opponent can really do against Blastoise combined with Amoonguss if I'm under Tailwind. Other than Discharge, obviously, but if he has Discharge, that's fine. If I get the Tailwind up, because I outspeed him. He doesn't exactly have a Water Spout resist, and Tapu Bulu isn't going to take a Water Spout, or I can't even take a Sludge Bomb. So we should be good in that department. Who knows? Maybe if this is a quick enough battle, we can get one more. That'd be really nice. What would I have to really worry about, though? I guess if it's... No. I should be guaranteed Tailwind no matter what. Maybe Palisand somehow sets up, but it doesn't look like it can really set up. It's like a random Palisand. It doesn't make much sense. Alright, Drifblim, Tapu Lele, Tapu Koko, Electivire. Okay. So again, I'm pretty sure this is Discharge Tapu Koko, so I'm going to try to get rid of it turn 1. I don't really care if Electivire gets a +1 speed in the process, or a Tapu Lele or Drifblim go down. I just need that free switch into my Blastoise, start the Tailwind up, Water Spout, and Psychic everything on my opponent's side of the field. And we should be good to go. I think I will go for a talent. Do I want the damage on top of Lele? I think I will. For attack tier, just to avoid a paralysis chance. Because if my opponent goes for paralysis while charging into top of Lele slot, I could be in a bad position if he gets a paralysis on top of Lele. Because if I get fully paralyzed, then it doesn't seem like a pretty position. Because I waste one turn of Tailwind. So I will go for the Tailwind here. We'll see what my opponent goes for. Going to be that discharge, so my opponent does reveal the discharge. Let's see. Let's see though what this Electivire does. And if it paralyzes my Drifblim. We gotta look at these factors. Okay, it doesn't. Rock Slide actually comes out. If this knocks out Drifblim, I do not mind. Because I do get a free switch into my Blastoise. Drifblim does go down, and I can go out into my Blastoise. Water Spout Dazzling Gleam is looking very good here. I don't think any of his Pokemon can survive it. I don't think Electivire +1, unless it's Choice Scarf outspeeds Blastoise, I don't think it can. I don't think it can, but we got Blastoise on deck. Let's go, Blastoise. Fire off your Water Spout and the Dazzling Gleam, and this will cover any switching my opponent has. My opponent does have a switching to Dazzling Gleam, plus the Water Spout, and then a Psychic if Tapu Bulu wants to come in again. So we should be in a fine position. No switch out, so maybe just going for the double protect turn one. But it's not like I can have anything that could really set up anyway, so Blastoise will be on the field. I wish I had sub on the top of the leg, to be honest. But no protects here. Dazzling Gleam is going to finish off these Pokemon. Wow, that did a lot of damage. It's a crit on Electivire, and Water Spout should come out. Yep. Okay, so no Scarf Tapu Koko or Electivire. And Electivire does go down. Nice. So that was a very quick turn 2. We got 2 knockouts, so let's see what my opponent has in the back. Tapu Bulu maybe, and I would assume the I don't know if it's Garchomp. I would assume Tapu Bulu would be in the back. Garchomp does come out, so it is Garchomp. And it's Tapu Bulu. Okay. So I don't have to Water Spout anymore. If I get rid of Garchomp, I win with my Amoonguss, because Tapu Bulu has nothing that can touch Amoonguss. Actually, I'm just going to Water Spout plus Dazzling Gleam. I actually don't see anything wrong with that, to be honest. It kind of seems like Amoonguss would win either way. But a Water Spout plus Dazzling Gleam is going to do a lot to Tapu Bulu anyway, as well as to knock out the Garchomp, so I have no reason not to. It's Mega Garchomp. Very interesting. I actually didn't realize it was Mega Garchomp, but I should have assumed because of the composition of my opponent's team, the Mega Evolution wasn't very common. Here comes the Dazzling Gleam here into the Garchomp and the Tapu Bulu, and misses the knockout on Garchomp thanks to his Mega Evolution gaining a bit more bulk. And the Water Spout, wow, that Dazzling Gleam actually did a lot to Tapu Bulu. Does the Water Spout pick up the knockout? It does actually pick up the knockout onto Tapu Bulu. And that is a very clean sweep, a very fast sweep. This spout is just washing. You see the cannon on its back? It's not just for show, but nice. We got 2 wins. Still angry about that one loss. We have one more battle I think we could do. We're only at about 23 minutes, so I think we can do one more battle. But yeah, this team seems pretty fun. Not gonna lie, if you want to try out the team, it is down below in the QR code section if you want to try it out. It is a very fun team. I kind of wish it had Raichu Togedemaru though. And, well, I wish there were more Mega Blastoise teams, because I would have loved to use like Talonflame, Raichu, Togedemaru, interesting Pokemon with the Blastoise combination that I'm kind of familiar with. But this Tapu Lele Drifblim is actually really cool. Zay from France with a 1570 rating will be our final opponent of the day. Bring more standard team: Cresselia, Kangaskhan, Heatran, Amoonguss, Tapu Fini, and the Landers. So, I have to think about this. What's interesting is I have a very solid option with Drifblim, but Misty Terrain's kind of annoying. I want to go Drifblim. Landers is very good in this matchup, but I don't want to bring Landers, to be honest. It doesn't have a way to touch Cresselia. Maybe Drifblim Blastoise? Or Drifblim Amoonguss, maybe? No, Drifblim. Well, I think I want to leave Drifblim Blastoise actually because this scares away the Heatran, which the other two Pokemon would invite into Heatran. So what I'm actually going to do is lead the Blastoise just to scare out the Heatran if it decides to lead here. And we'll see how this goes. Very standard team, so I don't know. I don't know if he wants to get Trick Room or not. I do have my own Amoonguss, but the problem is he does have that Tapu Fini, so I'm going to have to play around with my Lele very carefully. Could have brought Tapu Koko, to be honest, because it does help. But I think I do want Tapu Lele in case I need the fast mode for later on. And I kind of wish I had Shadow Ball on this team because hitting that Cresselia for good damage as well as the Heatran for a bit of chip would have been nice. But we do have it for the Amoonguss, so I guess that's not something too bad. Drifblim plus Blastoise will take the field against my opponents. Tapu Fini and Landorus variant. Okay. So I can burn the Landorus, which is a good thing. I can also Tailwind if I want to, but I don't really want to. The question is, I don't know if Blastoise would Landorus would go for like a Groundium Z straight off the bat if he has it. Could go for the Rock Slide. I think I want to go for Will-O-Wisp turn 1 into the Landorus. Do I think he has Cresselia? I don't really think he has Cresselia, but I do want to play it just safe turn 1, so I will just Will-O-Wisp that slot. I don't care if he U-turns. If he goes for a Rock Slide, he gets burned, so no matter what, I'm in an okay position. He does just go for the Rock Slide, so I could have got a free switch or just got the KO until Landorus, but my phone. Okay. Get the Will-O-Wisp off into the Landorus. Does connect Forestry, so Landorus is now burned, which is pretty good, but we'll see what this Tapu Fini goes for. Calm Mind would be pretty bad here, but it goes for the Moonblast into the Blastoise. Very fair play. Very fair play. Unfortunately, I can't really keep Blastoise that healthy from how it looks. So I'm actually gonna double out into my Tapu Lele as well as my Amoonguss here because I feel like this is the best play possible because Tapu Lele can start putting on the pressure right here. With the Psychic Terrain, I can get a Spore off into any of his Pokemon, which would be pretty nice. And I do get that Psychic Surge up, so when Drifblim comes back, I can get the Psychic C to activate and double my speed with them burden. So I feel like this is the best play possible. My opponent's not really dishing out the most offensive pressure here. As we see the Rock Slide, Amoonguss does avoid the attack, so that's less damage I have to take. But let's see if we see like a Muddy Water or just a Moonblast into that slot. We're going to see the Moonblast most likely into that. Yep, Amoonguss slot. So Amoonguss does eat it up pretty nicely. I guess the Landorus would switch out here. Could throw off a Psychic, but I think I want to go out into Blastoise right here. I think I want to fire off a Spore into that Tapu Fini because that Tapu Fini is kind of being annoying here. The Tapu Fini is being very annoying here, so I will just Spore the Tapu Fini. And this is going to be a bit interesting because if he does just fire off a Moonblast and Tapu Lele, that is kind of bad. I'm kind of hoping that the Fini switches out. Or maybe the Landorus will switch out and maybe Fini will protect. But I'm expecting Heatran to come in if my opponent did bring Heatran. We do see the Tapu Fini withdraw and it is going to be that Heatran. Nice. Excellent. As anticipated. And we just see the Rock Slide. Okay, please don't flinch, Amoonguss. Please don't flinch. Ah, okay. That's a bit annoying. A little bit annoying, but we're gonna go for the Water Spout anyway. And I think a Sludge Bomb is fine. I could see a lot of things, to be honest. I could go for the Regenerator. I could go for Rage Powder in case we could see a last ditch. You know what? I'm gonna Rage Powder. Okay. No, he switches out. I thought Groundium Z might have came out. Fini does come out, so I could Sludge Bomb that slot as anticipated, but you know, it's still not the worst case because I get a free Water Spout off if Heatran didn't protect here, and I do get a bit of chip damage onto Tapu Fini, and I can switch out Tapu Lele again and get this terrain up and go for the Psychic here, so it's not too bad of a situation. As Heatran stayed in, so let's see, can I take a Water Spout? This is a water spout. It's not a full power, unfortunately, but it is still a decent water spout. Nice damage. Unfortunately, not picking up the KO. And we will see a Heat Wave come out. Blastoise does avoid the attack, unfortunately, but the Amoonguss will be going down here, which means I no longer have Rage Powder. However, my Tapu Lele is looking very good here. And I will bring out my Tapu Lele. The question is who my opponent has in the back, because whoever my opponent has in the back is a good question. I don't know my opponent wants to take a second with Tapu Fini. I would assume you would sack your Landers right here in this position, try to get Tapu Fini in next to Kangaskhan. So I'm actually going to withdraw my Tapu Lele and go out into Drifblim. Heatran's role is pretty much done. So I'm going to go out into my Drifblim, expecting the Tapu Fini to switch out and sack Landorus here, because Landorus really isn't helpful against three. Well, I guess you could assume Drifblim would be a special attacker. It really isn't. It's acrobatics, but it doesn't really help me in the situation. Water Spout will be pretty good. I do want to try to get Tailwind and maybe the Rain Dance to compensate for my lack of power by not being at full HP, which is kind of a shame with Mega Blastoise because the moveset that I have relies on Water Spout as its most powerful attacks, so I can't really rely on any other move to do damage. Well, it's not like I can damage the Fini much without Lele, so withdraw Tapu Lele into the Drifblim. We're going to double out into the Drifblim. Get the Psychic Seed up. So we will increase our special defense as... Okay, it looks like Fini did not protect. I honestly... Wow, I'm surprised my opponent would risk the Tapu Fini right there. Psychic would have KO'd. Water Spout touches the Fini, really doesn't do much. And a Moonblast into the Blastoise slot, I would believe. Yep. That did so much. And I don't know what to do now. I think I Dark Pulse the Heatran. Not just Acrobatics to Fini. Maybe... Is that Specs Fini? Oh, it might be Specs Fini. I'm still surprised my opponent would risk his Tapu Fini ever, when Landorus in the back really doesn't do anything, but okay. Should've just went for the Psychic then. Psychic would've got me in a good position. We will get rid of this Fini. Oh wow, that Acrobatics did a lot. Wow. Dark Pulse into the Heatran will finish it off, and Fini should be able to KO one of my two Mons. So who is it going to go for? It's going to go for the Moonblast, and does target down the Blastoise. So I get Drifblim and Tapu Lele next to each other, and it looks like it is Specs on that Fini, which isn't bad for me. Tapu Lele will come out. We still have the Psychic Terrain left. If it's Kangaskhan in the back, I still have Willis potential. So it's not the end of the world, but this is going to be a very close one. Landorus is going to come out. Groundium Z is still going to hurt, but Gleam should finish out the Fini from here, yeah. So I guess I have to go for Gleam here. And I guess I'll Acrobatics the Landorus and hope that Acrobatics plus a Life Orb Dazzling Gleam can KO this Landorus. This is potential since I think it is Z-move on Landorus. Unless it's Z-move on Heatran, which is definitely a potential. This is very close. But Fini's going to withdraw this turn, are you serious? Into Kings. Why didn't you do... Oh my lord. I thought you would try to save that for the end game. Here comes the Acrobatics into the Landorus. Looks like I got... No, it didn't get a crit. U-turn into the Fini. Oh, it's Scarf it looks like. Or I'm slow. Lele? Maybe I'm modest? I'm pretty sure I'm timid. As Fini will get a free switch in here, but I guess I don't mind that too much. Because I do get the knockout on Fini still. And I still have my speed boost with a Drifblim, so I could Tailwind here. So Gleam should finish off this Fini, as well as do a whopping amount to the Kangaskhan. Crit didn't matter. And now I'm going to have to play some mind games, like if this is Scrappy Kangaskhan. Scrappy Kangaskhan could be bad. Landorus will be coming out here, or at least it should. U-turn. Is that Scarf or Banded? I think I'll check the speed stat my my Lele now, because I can confirm it. .147. Okay, I have no way to tell if that's Scarf or not. If he has Scrappy, he goes for Fake Out to Drift Bloom. Maybe I have to hope he's Inner Focus. Or I have to Psychic right here, but that's kind of dangerous. This is a hard decision. I think I want a Tailwind here. I will Tailwind here. He Mega Evolves, so he can't be Scrappy. Good. Okay. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Actually, it's still bad because Sucker Punch is still a play my opponent can make. So we protect the Lele here. Fake Out goes into Lele, and I'm guessing we're going to see a Rock Slide. We will get the Tailwind up. Let's see what this Landis goes for. Rock Slide. Yes. Will this KO Drift Bloom? That's a huge important question. It does. Shoot. I think I lose the game regardless. Well, if he has Sucker Punch. And he should have Sucker Punch. Let's be honest. I'm going to Psychic the Kangaskhan. Sucker Punch should be coming out, and that should be game. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I don't think there's much I could do there. I guess I could have saved the Amoonguss, but it kind of sucked that he did get that Rock Slide flinch. The reason why? Because I would have been able to keep my Blastoise, my Heatran around. Because we did go for that Spore into the correct slot. And unfortunately, yeah, we would have been able to keep Amoonguss alive. And I think Amoonguss could have actually just won this game single-handedly. We had the Landis Burn, Kangaskhan. We could have Rage Powder, redirected the attacks, and probably pick up the KO with Blastoise or Tapu. So, very unfortunate, but we'll finish out this episode with 2 wins, 2 losses. Not the greatest win-loss ratio, to be honest. The matches could have played very differently without the flinches from both games, but this is Pokemon. What can you do? Hope everyone enjoyed. If you do enjoy the Doubles Battle Spot series, please leave a like down below. It shows your support and lets me know that you people want more Doubles Battle Spot content. Of course, I do stream Doubles Battle Spot on Twitch, twitch.tv/JamesB1. Go check it out, as I might be streaming it today. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. What I have to say. So you can subscribe if you're new for more doubles content, more VGC content, singles battle spot content, and a lot more. And I will see you around in another video.